downloaded the Andrew Huberman morning routine, and I do have some skepticism about morning routines, honestly. They're kind of like self-help books. When you read it, they're fun to read, makes total sense, and if I would ever actually do it, I would probably be superhuman by now. But Andrew Huberman is a brilliant guy, and he's a neuroscientist, and he is a professor at Stanford University School of Medicine, and he also has a Huberman Lab podcast where he talks about our body like a neuro machine that we can learn to navigate and help it to make ourselves feel better and be better, and not just rely for nature to run it. And it makes sense because this neuro machine has been built and optimized for a life of 10,000 years ago, and humans at a time would wake up at sunrise, go to bed at sunset, forage for food. We definitely don't have a lifestyle like that. So that's the reason why I went through his lectures and his podcasts, and here is Huberman morning routine for you.
What is your morning routine
Once
look
every
like?
24 hours, you're going to
The
get
brain-body practical tools for optimal podcast focused on science and science. I'm Andrew Huberman for everyday life. There are certain foundational behaviors that set the stage for you to be better at everything. Think about, how can I focus better, remember things better?
Finally talk now. I never knew that we need to do salt in the water, but I guess it's good for electrolytes, especially on summer days. It really helps to retain the water. Huberman is basically saying that the most important thing for us is sleep. That's what is the base of it all. And if I only had $1 for every time I wake up at 3 a.m., but anyhow, first thing in the morning when we wake up and we get exposure to the sunlight, that starts our circadian clock, inner biological clock that regulates sleep-wake cycle. It also starts the 16-hour timer for melatonin production, which is good for sleep. Also, sunlight exposure produces vitamin D, which is good for bones and immune system, and it also produces dopamine, our motivation, and serotonin, which is our overall feel-good thing. He says that if anything you have time to do in the morning is to go outside and get some sunlight, in your eyes, but definitely do not stare at sun. Just look towards the sun, but not at the sun. Forcing exercise is not good, and that's why it's like, first of all, it's very demotivating, and also you're gonna feel like trash when you're done. So it's very important to do something that you actually enjoy. Most of the time I do walk, maybe like 10 minutes walk, 10 minutes I'm kind of like a stairs or running, and another 10-minute walk, and that's as far as I go.
It's some kind of devotion that brings me down. That without my love for the ocean, I will be no one. No
Okay. So what do you think? My husband is like rolling his eyes. But it's because He's a guy who wakes up every morning like it's a sunshine. And I'm not like that, which is thank God he is like that. Imagine if he was depressive like me, that would be a little bit of a problem. But anyhow, I have one more step until I'm optimized. It was good. I'm winning.
Okay, this is the last stop. Basically, cold water shocks the system, and I start with a warm water, and then for the last 30 seconds, I turn on cold water. Okay, are you ready? Okay, now I feel optimized.
Wow, it does the job.
I have super quick Stanford story for you. So when we came to United States, 2 years later, I could barely speak any decent English, but I decided that I'm going to go and apply for law schools. And I was so clueless, which is probably a good thing because otherwise I would never do that. But anyhow, I applied to many schools, and amongst those schools it was like Harvard and Yale and Stanford, and Harvard and Yale took about several months to deny my application. Stanford took less than 2 weeks. They're like, you submit application and then bam, no Stanford for you. They're not fooling around. But oh well.
A devotion that brings me down.